What's up, everybody?
Welcome back to the Hunt Experience Podcast.
Yep, this is number 26.
26, yeah.
Yeah, so we're
Let's count.
moving along, staying consistent.
Clicking them off, yeah. We're back.
Well, so first things first, we're still in a drought.
Yeah, drought. Ooh, it's bad.
We got lots of plot issues.
Yeah.
Me and you did tons and tons and tons of work. But hey, it happens.
Tons and tons of seed. So I told my wife, I was like, plots burn up. She's like, well, can you replant them again? I was like, I mean, I can, but you know how many tons we put out?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah. It's what do you do, man? I mean, here it is.
I don't know. We were talking about that a minute ago. Like, I'm threatening on filling my 60-gallon, sprayer up and just seeing if it makes a dent in. I don't know if it will or not.
I told you I'd water in that one little section.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about water. So kind of some pre-story. So before I built my house, I found out where my water line was going to run.
Right.
And I purposely ran it by my food plot.
Yeah.
And
Why not?
I put a stop out there.
Yeah.
So I've got a junction box out there just for watering. And years ago when I first moved in here, I had a plot out there, because my water line's a half a mile. I had to put
that's about what mine is.
I had to put a half a mile of water line in.
Yeah.
And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to put that in there and now I'll just be able to keep all my plots watered. Well, one year we had a drought. And when you try to water a 1 acre plot,
I know.
and you literally get this, area and that's it. So it wasn't really practical. But that center section on my plot will be segmented.
Yeah.
That's the P plot where all the action's been. So that's where I'm actually watering.
Focusing all your.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
I was actually talking to your brother last night about that well I've got on that property I bought. And like, you think I could use that? Like, yeah, you could probably, it'd be 35 PSI. You could probably put a booster pump on this thing but I would want like almost like fixed poles going down the middle of mine. So you just flip on the pump and it just covers the whole thing.
Yeah.
Whatever I got to do there, like this.
I mean, you got well pump electricity. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's free water.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way you look at it.
So I don't know what's going on. I tried to pull it, after I bought it. It's like kind of hung up and I'm afraid I don't want to break the string off of it. So I'm not sure what's up, but I may look into it after this year. Like, man, what would it take like just to have like 3 poles come out of the ground that I just work around, some food plot or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just sprays the whole food plot and I just go out there, flip a switch,
Well, you talking about putting sprinklers in the ground?
Yeah.
Like, oh, nice.
Just like put poles out of the, big steel pipe or something with a sprinkler head on it, like 7 feet up that could cover the whole thing.
I wonder what kind of pressure you'd have to do that, though,
Yeah. Well, I figured there'd be a booster pump involved somewhere along that route. So it would be, big ditch witch job. But I mean, gosh, it would be worth it if I just, just drive down the road and pull over that where the trailer used to be and flip a pump on. And
well, it was just like this section I watered, dude. I mean, it literally, was it 2 days ago I did it? Yeah. I think it's two to 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And, just the sprinkler head would reach for maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it is just
already
a carpet.
I know that's what I was talking about earlier. We just got just a
touch of rain.
Wrinkle. We would be
anything.
It would bring everything back to life. But yeah, it's bad.
And so, here we are complaining about our plots being burned up. And dude, it's like next weekend is muzzleloader.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. It's very crazy.
It snuck up on us, man. Because it's like, we've kind of both been on our heels not hunting because of the weather.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just been summertime.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know that you've been out yet.
I've not sat one time.
Yeah.
A lot of it's mine's not even giving me a real good look.
Yeah.
Like they're not even coming close to daylight really. So I'm like, I'm not going to mess with
it. Not going to mess with it. Yeah.
Well, I did get the drop time buck back last night.
Nice.
So he's been gone for 9 days. And he just popped back in.
Really?
Over a water hole. We talked about the power of them water holes.
Mm-hmm.
He hit that water hole. So I do have a stand over that hole that I can hunt this northeast with.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a little bit of a risk because I'm blowing back into massive woods. But I mean,
is he touching evenings very much or what's he doing?
It was 1:30 this morning.
1:30.
But he's been there before.
Yeah.
Like it,
Yeah.
An hour after shooting, that's probably the closest he's come.
Well, and then that's when I was, I told you I wasn't going to, we'll talk about it on here. It's like, so the big ones we're after that we got permission to hunt.
Oh yeah.
They didn't show
really
last night for the first time. And
that's probably because we were over there playing music and cornhole.
Oh, so we can blame that guy. We can blame that guy.
Actually, it was pretty tame. Everybody got there kind of late and, I never even throw a cornhole bag. We just lean against the trucks and talk. So that may not have been it actually, but that is weird.
I mean, yeah, nothing. I mean, when there was a small buck back there, but they've been every night, at least one or the other.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means, but what I was going to tell you is that happened. No bucks there. They've been there.
Yeah.
We could count on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All my other cameras, none of my regulars.
Yeah.
But let me get my phone out. I'll show you this.
Oh boy.
Here.
Yeah.
Of course, Lexi's first dibs on everything here, but
oh yeah.
Check this dude out, bro. Just rolled up.
Oh my. Yeah.
11 dude with like 8-9 inch eye guards.
Yeah. Well, we're getting about that time of year too, especially
well, that's my deal.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I'm not ready for the shift yet.
Yeah.
We're finally getting a cold front to hunt them.
Yeah.
And now they're going to shift.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. I think it's coming. I think probably middle of this week. Even Thursday's looking pretty good. So.
Yeah. No, they even they cooled it all down too. Did you see that?
Yeah.
We're touching 30s, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It's like it could start seeing it. So I'm going to go out and freshen up my mock scrapes today and feeding some spots and do all that kind of stuff.
Yep. Yep. Who knows? That's kind of what our topic's about today is cold fronts.
Yeah. Cold front alert.
We've been waiting on them, man.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And this isn't that cold, but it's,
no.
I think it's like down to, it's a 16-degree drop, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's.
Well, see, it comes in today, right? Yeah. Changes to the north today.
Yeah.
Temperature's already hot out there. But,
oh, yeah.
But then what is it tomorrow? 70s? Tomorrow? 78 or something?
Yeah.
We're 91 right now.
Yeah.
So there you go, man.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
Yeah, that's one of them things you hope and look for. I wanted this to happen 2 weeks ago so we could have already had some success.
Yeah, I know. We've been just like hanging out waiting.
Yeah, it's just been sunny and hot and dry.
Yeah.
Every day.
Ridiculous.
Yep.
Well, before we get into the cold front side of it, let's talk about our new studio here.
Dude, what do you think, man?
Love it.
I think it's awesome.
Love the setup.
Whoever we hired to do the table.
Yeah. And the walls, like, it's all legit. So, yeah.
No, you did the table, man. You did a great job. It looks awesome.
Well, same bracket you with the walls. It all looks really amazing. I mean, it's
kind of a bucket list thing,
New location, new studio.
Better setup.
Way better setup. We got a setup in here for 4 people now. We got those guys set up to come in.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the hunting deal, they're wanting to do it tomorrow, but I think we may be hunting something.
We may be cold fronting it tomorrow. Yeah.
But we'll get them in, and they've got a cool story to tell. But yeah, it's I think it looks pretty good, man.
It does. I'm excited.
We've also got video on Spotify now. So if you go check us out on Spotify, you get to watch a video just like on YouTube. So
yep. Another avenue to find us.
Another improvement because I kind of lean towards when I watch podcasts. I like watching them too.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. So it's like,
you'll see most of my podcasts that I watch are on YouTube.
Yeah.
They're actually playing.
Yeah.
And I drive for a living pretty much, and I don't watch them, but I can glance at them.
Yeah.
If they're talking about a particular deer or whatever.
I'm the same way in my truck. I got that little phone mount up there.
That's what I got.
I'll stick it up there, and
it's not too dangerous.
Check it out every once in a while. It's not a big deal, but
yeah.
So I think we were like, man, we really want to put video on Spotify. It's like I think I figured it out in one evening.
Yeah. You're like, hey, just go here, and I went in there and I was like, oh yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
So that's that's something cool for us too. I mean.
Yeah.
We got something when you can watch.
Well, like I said, I always gravitate towards the ones that have video with them.
Yeah.
So
me too.
Just listen to the audio. It's kind of like you have a little bit more of a connection with the podcaster whenever you see what they look like. And
are they as dorky as they sound? I mean, that's what I always.
We are for sure.
We're more than that, I think.
Yeah.
But so Apple Podcast, Spotify, and YouTube. You can find the hunt experience.
The hunt experience. So man, proud of us. This thing turned out awesome.
Yep.
A lot more room, bigger location. It was some work. I mean, I know you spent a lot of time on the walls. I spent off and on probably a good 5 days on this thing, just building it and then epoxying and sanding and epoxying and sanding. And my wife's got her parking spot back.
Oh, she can get inside
in the
now.
Garage now. So, we're all good there. So,
dude, I'm excited about it. I this has been something that's like, it would be cool to do.
Yeah.
Then you take that and you go do it.
Yeah.
Then it's like, it is pretty awesome.
Well, and we didn't, nobody was hired to do any of this stuff. Literally this thing, you have a connection with the wood. This table right here was literally pallets that I had laying around, that I probably bought corn on or whatever. And it's
you told me, it's like, I'm going to make it out of pallets. And I'm thinking, well, he's going to go buy some pallets somewhere. It's like, no, you like get them out of the yard.
Yeah. No, I just drug them over there and started prying nails. And I even left some of the nails in, if you can see.
Oh, I know. It's awesome, dude. I was pumped by it. The hardest part about this was getting it in here, but I mean, good gosh.
Yeah.
We got it in here.
She's a beast.
Yeah, she's all there.
And I was scared to death to drill into it, but it turned out nice and clean. And
no, it's good, man. It's good. Yeah, we got two, like I said, we got 4 setups now. And so running legit, brother.
Yeah, we're excited. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think about this weather stuff? I don't know.
I'm excited about the cold front deal. I don't, we got permission on that client property. And I was talking to him about it last night. I was like, man, how do you feel? He's like, yeah, go get out there, man. Go do it. So, he green lighted us on those 2 we have out there, but I mean, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I looked this morning and it's showing even Tuesday for an east. Right
really?
Now. So,
okay. Well, I'll, my plan was maybe tomorrow evening with the northeast.
Yeah.
I'll take in Lexi.
Yeah, I probably won't do much tomorrow. And if I do anything, I'll probably set
You may want to observe,
over
man.
that water hole or get in one of my box blinds and just watch.
Yeah, you may want to.
Yeah, I'll probably be somewhere.
Well, it's just what you said. I mean, I had this new 11-point show up last night.
Yeah.
And you just don't know at this time.
Well, right now, these deer aren't moving hardly at all. They're just, food to bed type deal. You can, if you're watching your cameras, you can kind of tell what they're doing. But this big of a temperature swing, even though it's not technically cold, it's a cold front.
Yeah,
may see some daylight action. They're gonna get up early and move around a little bit more. You may even see some of those morning bucks come out.
Yeah. I expect all that.
Yeah, but for me, I've always thought if I see a deer early in the morning on one of my corridors or water holes or something like that, I normally think he's bedding pretty close if I see him because he's going back to his bedroom, so he's got to be pretty close at that point. So which I've got a couple. Once I told you yesterday, like. I'm covered up in 2.5 and 3.5 year old, just 8 points. Tons of them. They're daylighting like crazy. So I know they're close bedding all around me somewhere, but that deer hasn't moved in yet. The one I'm like, okay, here we go. Let's start playing chess.
Yeah. It's coming though. It's coming.
Yeah.
And this little cold snap may make it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, this buck that just showed up, I went back, dude, I don't have any history. I don't know this deer at all.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Of course, from year to year, they can do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, no, that's true.
As but so I was thinking about it. And so when I went back and looking for this deer, I thought, well, I'm going to do a little history on what I've got. So we've got that 10. I'm almost for certain last year was a 9.
Yeah.
And then we got this 9 that I was almost for certain last year was an 8. And both of those deer Lexi passed. And so how cool would that be?
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
To say, hey, this deer we passed at 3 years old and he's 4 now.
Yeah.
And how cool is that? So
the story behind, I always like something tied to it. Like, even like this drop time buck, I obviously passed him last year quite a few times and then found one of his sheds. It's like, you got a little background story on a deer. And I don't know if I'll kill this deer, honestly. I really just need to see him in person and see. I mean, stuff to pass a split G2 drop time buck, but I know for sure he's 3.5.
He's young. Yeah, he's young. Yeah.
It's like, what would that thing do next year if he's returning? But, we talked about that. Like, there's no guarantees he's going to return.
Not around here.
By a car, shot by somebody else. So.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of pressure.
If he gives me the butterflies when he walks out, I'll probably, if I get that opportunity.
If you get excited, man.
Really need to just see him because camera, sometimes he's like, dude, that's a good buck. And there are times like, I don't know. Like,
yeah. Well, and see, so you brought up cameras. So that's something too, in my mind. Everybody plays their cameras now.
Yeah.
And they judge everything off their cameras. Well, this is, to me, is one of those times where you better get out there.
No.
Because, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, we don't know what's coming, And, yes, for the most part, the cameras do a great job of showing you what's on your property.
Yeah.
But when you get into this when they're moving around a lot time of year, you've seen it happen to you a bunch. I've seen it happen. Just observe setting.
Yeah.
They don't come to the camera.
No.
And, he's there or a big one's there and you're like,
yeah, no.
I can get no pictures.
Yeah, we talked about this a couple podcasts ago. Yeah. It's like, cameras are great, but if you hunt, and I'm guilty of it. I used to do it, but
I think everybody does.
If you're just saying, well, I'm not going because my cameras, and I think I just said it like a few minutes ago, but I got I'm set up pretty good on travel corridors and stuff as far as I can take a pretty good inventory and stay out. But I was doing a little perimeter check of my place. It was last week when I got had all the chigger problems. But anyway, on the north side, there's a new trail. Since I put that water hole in, that winds through there, and they're popping out on that corner. And I don't really know what it is because I'm not getting a ton of doe pictures on the big plot yet. So what if, there's a giant cruising through there every 3 or 4 days, and I don't have a camera running over there? It's like, you can't rely on it too much. So, typically what I do, and I don't do it all the time, if I've got a big one that's in there, I don't do it a whole lot. But while I'm fairly scent free, you can never trick a deer's nose, no matter how much you spray or wash your clothes or whatever. But after I get done hunting, like if it's a morning hunt, I'll easily hop down, like, let me see what's going on around here, and then maybe make a shift of a camera, midday or something, and check it out. But yeah, don't rely 100% on those cameras for sure. But right now for me, water holes are more of an inventory than corn is, because acorns are raining out and really not hitting corn a whole lot, but they're hitting them water holes for sure.
Everybody's slowing up on the pictures. That's overfeed, A lot of guys are moving to scrapes.
Yeah.
Because they should really start, especially these cool temps, man.
Yeah.
They should fire up, which I had some really cool footage. I pulled it. I sent you one of them of the 10-point.
Oh, yeah.
Over the scrape, the video, video up.
Yeah.
That's pretty, I love that. That's so cool. Yeah. Cause that's really what's happening.
And we both had so much success hunting over scrapes. Like to me, that's, if somebody was just getting into hunting right now and didn't know how to read terrain or read sign really well, like just hunt over a scrape.
Yeah. Find a scrape.
Get a good wind and get a good entry point and hunt over a scrape. Like that's, it's paid off in dividends for me multiple times.
Well, so we kind of talked about it. Me and my cousin are looking at a piece right now that we may be interested in. We talked to landowner and letting us go in there and just put some cameras out and look for sign. And dude, it was old fashioned, just go look for sign kind of stuff. Like we used to do, before cell cameras and everything. And so we got in there and just put boots on the ground and walked around and found a rub line and a possible crossing. And it's like, that's pretty cool. So we threw cameras up, but here's the funny thing. So I had a cell camera and we put that on one part of this property.
Right.
Okay. And then I was like, Joe, you got any other cameras? He's like, hey, I got some cameras. Well, he brought regular SD card cameras and we get them put out and we get a few pictures on my cell camera and we're like, what's that other spot doing?
Yeah.
It's driving us nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. Should I go in 2 days after I put up a camera?
So, we were joking about that.
I was a card puller addict too.
Yeah, I loved it.
I think I had like 8 different cameras in different spots on different sides of the mountains. And like, if I got off work a touch early, like I'm going to swap out cards.
Card run.
One time I had, it was this deer right here. And I went to pull cards because I knew he was getting close. Like, we're getting close to this thing.
Yeah.
And so I pulled all the cards on the spots he was hitting. On the way out somewhere, I lost every card.
Oh, dude, I've done that.
Yeah. So I didn't know what was going on. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
And then, so back in the day, it was the, what was the name of that? I bought a bunch of them, but they took D batteries.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have a cell camera when they had film in them, but I was right after that when I started doing it. And they were like big, giant D battery, low, big flash.
When they go off.
Like, this is the one that we ever killed any deer. So running 8 of those things around.
That's why you got one picture, and that was it.
Yeah. It's like, that was a good deer. But,
that was a nice buck.
Even with the ones today, I've had some of mine over scrapes on video.
Yep.
And I'm spooked the deer.
Dude, there's a debate about that right now.
Yeah, about the frequency or something.
And some of the models are freaking deer out, you know, and you don't get the pictures on them.
Yeah.
And or it's one picture and he's gone. You know? Especially with the mature deer.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I heard something about that too. Some sort of frequency that like
messing with them
spooks deer away or
and
something.
It was cell phone cameras.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. It has something to do with that.
So one of the guys I was listening to was talking about them. And he totally bought into it, but he was saying, instead of having, which I can't hardly bring myself to do it, instead of having them send those pictures to you immediately, set up a time because you can go in and set up send them every 24 hours and send them to me at noon because when the transfer happens, I think that's when the frequency is or something. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I know.
Which isn't a bad deal if you get them once a day, get all your pictures one time, which is pretty much what I do anyway. It's like I usually just look at mine in the mornings when I wake up and.
Yeah. You don't check it as it buzzes all day?
Not all the time. Yeah. No. Sometimes I will. If it's like a spot that I know is like, there's a deer in there, like I got to see what it is. And it's, usually a rabid raccoon or something.
Yeah. Well, mine's time frame. So if it's that crack of daylight to like 9 a.m., I'm checking it every time it buzzes. And then if it's that, hour to dark time, I'm checking it.
Yeah. No, I definitely will. If it's like getting right there, right before daylight, like, let's see what this is. Yeah. Like every morning I told you I got that 3.5-year-old 8-point. He shows up at 6:45, 7 o'clock every single day, like on the same camera. So.
Yeah. Well, see, that was us last year. Here, it was just, dude, I think I said 5 or 6 3.5-year-olds that were good deer.
Yeah.
I mean,
these are all beautiful deer, but it's like
most people aren't going to pass, but if you want that older class buck, man, and I think if you've hunted a long time and you're a trophy guy like we are, you got to let them walk by.
Yeah.
And, it's all about what makes you excited. It's like we talked about.
It's all about the heart rate when the deer walks out.
Yeah.
If my heart goes and I start, flipping out a little bit, I know I need to probably try and harvest this animal.
Yeah. Well, and we've both been there, that early on for us, it was like, I think you shot one left-handed, I shot one left-handed.
Yeah.
And, I think mine was a 7-point with a 9-inch spread. I was jacked, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody kind of goes through a progression in their hunting career, you know.
Yeah.
So, I'm not taking anything away from somebody who wants to shoot whatever.
Heck no.
If you're excited,
if it brings you joy, it brings you joy, harvest it.
There's some guys that get jacked over a big old nanny coming in. Hey, do it.
Yeah. No.
Go do it.
I'm contemplating that myself. I probably wouldn't be that jacked over, but I'm like, man, I'm in this debate whether. With this cold front coming in and everything, I don't know, but it's like I told hers, I'm like, I might go out and just see if I can stick that. I got 2 big nanny does in there. And they didn't have fawns this year. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really need the meat. So it's
I know. That's where I'm at too.
Yeah.
We eat deer meat year round. I mean, it's pretty much, between that and a beef from my brother.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. That's, it's what we do. And, for whatever reason, I guess it's because Luke's gone. Luke was he pounds at a time.
Make a difference. Even when my Luke was there, we're going through like a whole bunch of milk, a whole bunch of water, and a whole bunch of a whole bunch of everything when he was hanging out there for 3, 4, 5 days.
So we actually got some carryover, which we normally don't have.
Yeah.
And
I know there's some areas that you can donate stuff to. So I don't know if I did something I may.
Well, I've actually got the idea. I've got a neighbor that we've had some dog issues with, and I'm thinking about just saying, hey man, you eat venison.
Yeah.
Here's what I need you to do.
Yeah.
If I'm going to keep you in the venison, man. And that's, because we're at the point where it's like, I don't even have room to store it.
Yeah. That's
maybe one.
That's where I am right now. So I just got bought a half a cow as well.
Yeah.
And deer meat and, everything else. So it's like my freezer's
packed.
He's pretty stacked right now. Yeah. I think I picked it up. What's today? Sunday. I picked it up Thursday.
That makes it harder to harvest a doe if you got meat.
Yeah.
It really does.
Well, I honestly think my property needs some harvested off of it.
Yeah.
Just from the difference between my rye crop and the other client property rye crops and your rye crop. Like, I think I'm getting
hammered.
I'm getting pressured pretty good.
Yeah. But I will say this: you are a late season locale. We have figured that out.
Yeah, for sure.
You're season 3 for us, right, on your property? I mean, it's with the new 40-acre project.
Season 3. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and first year was 15 doe mega group, and then second year was a bunch of doe mega group, and you've kind of started that again.
Yeah, but I'm running about 9 right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
But then you have them late season bucks show up, man.
Yeah.
And we were trying to figure out how to flip that to a earlier time frame.
Well, you think about that. It's like, I don't know why, which I can't say I don't have early season bucks. I've got
a
ton of bucks.
Just big fellers. Yeah.
Just don't really start popping for me. The first year we did it, they did. And I had 4 or 5,
you had some stuff.
150 plus. But this year I've had more bucks early than I've ever had, but there's a nice 8 in there. I told you, like that deer I called Nubby. I think it's his son. He's wide. The 3.5.
Yep.
No eye guards, really,
Yeah.
just like little nubs.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm pretty sure that's a descendant of that buck I had year one that I was chasing after, and he was, 150 inches.
He's a whopper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this deer looks pretty good, and I wouldn't shoot him, but I probably would next year. And then, of course, the drop tine buck, and that's really all I've got going on right now. But I'm waiting to see what these cameras say even next week, like what's going to start.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing too, with your nanny population.
Yeah.
Dude, bucks are coming to check. They're going to come check doe groups. They're coming. Yeah. And it's just a matter of time. I mean, and again, when they're in that groove, they may not even step in front of a camera.
No, I know. Yeah.
So, that's like for me, I think you need to be at least observed setting somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow evening or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking about getting in that lone wolf, and I hung it. It's before we even did the 40-acre project. It was always kind of a hot spot. And then I put a water hole and a mock scrape over it now. And,
which one are you talking about?
The very south water hole, kind of next to the bedding. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I blow northeast. It's blowing to the mountain into the vastness. I may blow out something. I don't know, but I mean, it is what it is. That's kind of where I need to be if I'm going to sit. I think either that or on that lower plot, which I've had that 3.5-year-old
down there,
Nubby's boy down there a couple times, but I wouldn't shoot him, but, in some doe action, but yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see. So I'm going to go out today and kind of freshen up some mock scrapes and do a little walk around and prepare for this little deal. And I'll probably be in a tree somewhere watching something.
I got to go to the client property and change batteries and get that squared so that if we push in there Tuesday or Wednesday, possibly Thursday.
And if we get more of an east than a northeast, I think we try it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just
because we're running at, we talked about it yesterday, right? Though we got some surrounding circumstances.
Yeah.
And
pressure.
Once muzzleloader
cracks
up, those deer are probably gone.
It's going to change them. Yeah, it's going to change. It did last year.
Yeah.
I caught the buck I killed. He just happened to come through, and it the week prior to that, everything was gone.
Yeah.
Because the pressure went into the woods all around, and that's just the way it is. I mean,
and they're stacked in pretty tight right there too.
They are. Yeah. They can't handle much pressure at all.
Yeah.
So, and we've stayed out. We've left her completely alone. So there's no pressure there. I'm like you. It's like, if we get a true east on this cold front, let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know what we're going to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some great deer there, but who knows what.
Well, that's kind of like even on my place, it's like, I walk the ground, and there's some areas that I've got questions in. I'm thinking about moving some cameras here, moving some cameras there, just from some of the sign I saw. But, with these cold front evenings like this, it's like, put yourself in the best position you can get into wind wise. And I've got a good interest. My access is great, to not blow out the water hole, the bedding that's right there, next to me. But, you don't know what you're going to see, because you're going to start seeing some new bucks this week, I guarantee.
Oh yeah, I'm betting on it.
And one of them may be a shooter.
I know, yeah, and it's just like this.
Well, you just saw a new one. So
brand new. No history.
Yeah,
and you got to think, okay, where did he come from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he actually came from the east. So is that a mountain buck? You don't know. You don't have any idea, and especially when you don't have a history with him.
Yeah,
and so he's in this deep, and the hope. My plot's not in great shape. Mm. The hope is that he hangs out for a while.
Yeah.
Because I got a 6-7 doe group is what I've got.
Okay.
That's does and young ones.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot, but I don't hold a lot here. I never have. Even though I'm thick and all that, it's just, there's not enough of it.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
So it's like the new guys show up. Typically for me in the past, it's been that 3 days to a week, they'll hang out.
Yeah.
And if you don't have enough for them to stay, they move on. Mm-hmm. And, so that's when you got to jump on them, man.
Yeah.
And especially you couple that with a cool front.
Yeah.
It could be deadly.
Well, that old testosterone was starting to ramp up too. We both talked about that yesterday. Like I had 40 pictures of two 8 points pushing each other back. And the next picture would be, now I'm winning over a scrape.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of my scrape cameras is what it was over. And they were just pushing each other around. So I'm like, all right, they're not
feeling their oats.
they're not full-fledged.
Yeah.
Because some of mine are still running together. So
yeah. Well, I don't know how it works for sure, but to me, the heat's held them back. It's a guy. And that's why I'm like, dude, we're going to get a 15, 16 degree drop here.
Yeah.
It may just.
Yeah, no, I think so. I'm actually really excited about it.
Switch it on.
Go out and freshen up everything today and make sure my batteries are all good and like keep an eye on I know where my mock scrapes, 2 of them are getting hit. And then I showed you that picture of that one right there at the house plot. It's like, it's dug out, hammered. I think every buck on the property hits that one, and that's in bow range. So
there you go.
We shall see. But yeah, it's going to be good. It's not going to be, it's not cold, but it's a cold front. And
yeah,
I'm anxious to get over on that client property. Is what I'm really anxious about.
Well, hopefully there's guys that's listening to this that just had success last week, because this will drop next week.
Mm-hmm. And, exactly.
So good luck to you guys. I'm hoping that what we're talking about happened for you, because
for sure.
And we're hoping to come back.
Oh, there's gonna be some bucks to die. I guarantee.
Oh yeah. We're hoping to come back with some success on our side on our next podcast, and at least some sightings, if not success.
Yeah. And we even talked about doing some little hot pods and throwing them out, after a kill, we'll like do a little quick one and tell a story or something like that. So that's a possibility.
I think if somebody
kills something, we may blast one out that day or something.
Yep. Just throw it out there real quick.
Yeah.
Get it out there for everybody to watch and see. But no, the cold front for me, man, is I made that transition. You talked about it last time, like 5 years ago, where you're not an all day, everyday hunter. You're watching the weather.
Yeah.
And weather dictates so much.
Oh, I think weather, there's a lot of guys that hunt moon.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm just like, weather and barometer for me. That's like, if you get in that 30-ish mark and you got a cold front coming in, which is exactly what we're going to have.
Yes.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Bucks are going to die for sure.
I think so. And especially these deer that are in that summertime pattern still, that are just fixing to switch.
Yeah.
It's like, I was a little concerned because last night, all the cameras, my normal biggins didn't show.
Yeah.
But then I had a new shooter show up. Yeah. So it's like, I don't switch yet. Give me a couple days.
Yeah, mine were slow too, but I mean, the only one I had, and it was like what we talked about. It's like, corn piles and all that stuff. That drop time buck showed back up, but he was on one camera, and it was that water hole. That was it. That was
the spot.
One picture, well, 2 pictures. He head down. I was like, "What deer is that?" And then he turned around. I was like, "Oh, okay, he's back." 9 days missing. So
9 days.
Well, what do they do in that 9 days? You think
they got to be checking doe groups. I mean, even though it's hot and he's probably doing it all at night, but it's like he's going to all the properties where he thinks he can breed.
Yeah,
and he spent the summer here with you, right?
Yeah.
So he's checking all around him, and there's probably other food sources out there. Not nothing like yours, but there's others out there.
We need to find a way to get like a air tag on these deer or something.
Yeah,
where are you going, bro?
Work on that. Yeah. Work on that. Speaking of that, Sabatucci got him a new gun, and he's like, "Dude, you got to see this thing.
Yeah,
it shoots like little arrows." Something crazy.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like,
he turned into a ninja?
So what is this, man? So it's not legal to hunt deer with yet, but he's like, dude, this thing's insane.
Coons and squirrels and
Yeah. He said, it's awesome. So anyway,
I got my new,
you made me think of that
alternative gun in, and I got my suppressor in for it. So I was like, we
got to get sighted in.
I need to shoot that thing pretty quickly. Yeah. I was waiting to sight it in. For one, I'm a little bit scared of the bullet. And
monster.
Number 2, I didn't want to shoot it without the suppressor because I had a chance to get it before muzzleloader. There was a chance there, and I beat it by a couple weeks.
So what is it? What's what you're saying?
Man, it's one of my dream guns. Honestly, I always wanted one. So when I was a kid, I watched a lot of Gunsmoke. Right, that was like it was always on. We had 2 channels. My dad watched westerns constantly, but I actually love Gunsmoke, and they always shot the Henry 4570, a lever action gun.
Mm.
Never really had a reason to buy one. And then, once Arkansas changed that rule to a straight wall cartridge, like, nope, there's my chance. I literally ordered it like the next day it came out, which it's, I forgot. It's not the one with the gold on it. They called it something else. And anyway, I changed the I changed the foregrip to like an AR foregrip and changed the stock on it, and so it's kind of tricked out. And it's cool. I think I'm gonna carry it through gun season.
Are you really?
Yeah,
nice.
Just because I want to kill a deer with it. Like
what kind of range is on one of those? You know, is it 100?
I would think, yeah,
100, 150 max, maybe.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard about them. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You know, my farthest shot on my big plot is like 130.
Yeah, you can cover your pretty good. Yeah.
And I'm not a long range guy. It's like, honestly, the deer I've killed with a gun, I could have killed with a bow 9 times out of 10. Most of my shots are like 18 yards with the rifle.
So you're going to take that deer camp?
Yes, for sure.
Nice, nice. So that's coming up for us too.
Yeah,
and so I made changes. You know, so I kind of been the guy for probably 20 years that's kept deer camp going.
Yeah,
because it's just. You know, my kids were young and
cool tradition, man. Yeah. I love the story.
Family deal. And you get out in the woods and you just, you know, it's not so much about the deer.
Yeah.
Even though that we used to kill good deer doing it.
Sure.
But in the last 5 or 6, 7 years, the progression has been downward, in my opinion. And there's a whole tangent I can get on about dog hunting and all the stuff that goes with it. And, you know, there's no more hunter etiquette and people just run over top of you and yada, yada, yada. So I've got lots to talk about, but that's another time.
Yeah, right.
But, yeah, so I got to, what was it, a couple of years ago, you got to come with us, come down and just kind of see.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
I had a great time. I didn't really care about.
Yeah.
I had my muzzleloader with me, so I was a late comer to muzzleloader. Like I ain't buying a muzzleloader. It's 2 weeks long and blah, blah, blah. And I was set up on the lease over on the other side of the mountain and had a good buck come in that I couldn't shoot with an arrow. I was like, that's it. I'm buying a muzzleloader. So that was my thing. So anybody care if I like just kill a doe or whatever with this thing? So I've not killed anything with it yet. So
yeah. Just go for it.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We had the Blackstone up there.
Yeah, you did some cooking, man. See, we weren't used to that. Usually I have to cook, and that's pretty rough, dude.
Yeah.
I've got to cook.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad because, well, I guess if I'm the cook, then everybody else is really bad.
Yeah, right.
Because I can survive, but I'm no cook.
Yeah,
I'm no cook. Yeah, you rolled in there and had all the Blackstone rolling.
Yeah, no, I enjoy cooking. So especially stuff like that, big breakfast stuff. You can come back from get back at 10 or 11 o'clock and throw down another cup of coffee and some breakfast. Like it's.
Well, see, and that was the thing. I heard a pod the other day I was listening to, and it made me think of this too. So for me, I have progressed into this hunter that's cell cam guy, got my own property, got access to other properties, kind of can control the narrative.
Sure.
Then you got public land, national forest, just go hunt. No cameras.
Yeah.
You got history there, but that changes every year.
Sure.
And I still love that. I mean, I still love the chance of like in your mind, something could step out that's worth shooting. And matter of fact, that's this deer. That's my favorite. One of my favorite bucks.
Sure. Yeah.
Because of that scenario, I didn't have pictures of this deer. I didn't know that this deer was even there.
Yeah.
I just went to where I think's a good spot.
Sure.
Here he comes. And so it's that hunting has pretty much died out for a lot of folks.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of that for me is just awesome. And yes, I'm down on it because of the overhunting and the pressure and all the stuff that goes with it. But then you still get that. I have no clue what's out
what
here.
If? Yeah. That's kind of the way I do the lease. I don't run feeders up there. I have one camera on like 3,500 acres, but there's like 6 dudes over there, but it's like for me, I kind of hunt terrain, move around.
Yeah. Look for sign.
Yeah. What's
scrapes?
What could be in there? Because there's giants in there.
Oh, sure.
Access is terrible.
Yeah. Really hard.
You know how you and I hunt. It's like, oh, I know where I'm going. Oh, yeah, it's 1.5 miles in.
Uphill.
Yeah. Uphill.
Yeah.
So
you got to want it.
You take you're blowing out a lot of deer to get to where you're going.
Yes.
And I've got a couple saddles, a couple pinch points. I got a really good funnel spot that I know deer are going to be moving. If I can get in there fairly quiet, especially, cold front time, rut time, when those bucks are moving like at 10 o'clock in the morning, if I get in, no light fairly early, I think I got a chance every single time. I killed that 8-point up there and he was a pretty decent buck, but,
well, I was going to ask you too. So if nothing's on your place for muzzleloader, is that what you're going to do? Is that your first weekend? Obviously, second weekend we're going. But
well, what I do up there is I actually, I kind of go in at gray light and I'll walk like to the top and then I'll just start. I'll hunt ravines.
You still hunt all the way down.
Yep. I'll hunt them benches.
Yeah.
On my way down, I'll sit at each one for about an hour, do a little calling, go down, and that's kind of how I hunt.
That's how you ended up.
I don't really. Now, when the rut starts, I'll get in that saddle because it's fire up there every year. Like, yeah. But I seen a couple good bucks over there last year in that saddle, but they were actually up on one of the benches that I just come off of.
Well, I still crave that kind of hunting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like
it's fun.
It's progressively gotten less in my life, obviously, because you get better spots and you do all the work and you do all the land improvement.
Yeah,
and and so that's where you want to be. And for the most part, it attracts good deer there.
Yeah.
But then that element of just total surprise. Hey, we're going out in the woods camping and just roughing it, if you will.
Yeah.
When the generator's not running, the Arkansas game's not on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, it's that whole experience. So I don't want that to go away.
No.
But I've changed a little bit. I know my brother is probably mad at me because, I'm like, I'm not doing modern guns.
Rifle, yeah.
It's such a chaotic, crazy, and it has been forever.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just got steadily worse in my mind. And then once the deer numbers go down, it's hard for me.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, before you put up with all the pressure and all the stuff that comes with it for a chance at a deer.
Sure.
When your chance is way, way less, not to say there's not deer there, there is.
Oh, there has to be.
But it's like, man, I just, and you got your cameras going off and you got a shooter on this camera and a shooter on this camera back at home.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, it's happened to me like 3 years in a row now. So it's like, all right, I'm done.
Well, it is a little bit, when the hunting side of it, you can call it, a little bit of a lazier way to hunt when you're hunting your own farm.
Sure.
But what do we do
the rest of the time?
The rest of the time to get to
make
point,
it lazy hunting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is, it's kind of like, I threw up a video the other day about the benefits of, hunting out of box blinds. And, I was like, I know I'm going to catch grief for this. Like, oh, yeah, that's not hunting. That's not hunting. It's like, well, I'm going to tell you this. If it's -14 or pouring down rain and I can get out of the rain and still have a chance at killing a deer, I'm getting out of the rain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just common sense, right?
Yeah.
You can call it. It's not hunting if you want to, but I killed my biggest deer in my life out of one, and it was like -14 degrees, and
it was horrible.
Is that not hunting? It looks like hunting to me.
Yeah.
It was biggest deer I ever killed.
Yeah. Don't be mad because you put all that work in to make that happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know how the hunting world is, right? You're going to get criticized no matter what. If
sure.
you have your own property, if you don't hunt public property, if you kill too small of a deer, and it's sad.
That's what it's come, though.
Our buddies aren't that way. We're all the same way. Like, dude, if it makes you happy, kill it. And I stand behind that. I always have. But, and so, I mean, but there's also nothing more gratifying than hunting your own property. You know what I mean? And having success on, like, I actually manipulated this deer to come to this spot, down this corridor, on this water hole or whatever. And it's like, it's pretty rewarding that you can do that on your own place. That being said, we had Luke on a couple weeks ago, and it's like the benefits of, hiking in miles and hanging four different sets. And, everybody needs to go through that. It's kind of like I tell everybody this, like, everybody needs to be just broke once in their life. Like, just barely have enough money for a Taco Bell taco. And, like, I think it just makes you a better human being.
Yeah.
So I still say everybody needs to do that,
Scratch out that entitlement.
Yeah. Everybody needs to go and walk 4 or 5 miles and get cut up and scraped up and have cockaburs on you and, have to move tree stands 4 times in one day to, catch the wind right. And, like, that's good stuff. And, I still do that I treat the lease about like that. It's like,
That's your opportunity to get that out of it. Yeah. Got to work for it a little bit.
Yeah. Because a lot of times, even when I know where I'm going, but I won't even go in and come out the same way. I always want to, like, I'm going to go over here, and I'll get back to the road by going this route because I want to see new places.
Well, see, I do that. I do that at camp.
Yeah.
Because I'm only there once a year.
Sure.
Twice a year, maybe.
Yeah.
And I know what the layout is, but you don't have any idea what the sign is. You don't know nothing. So I do that every year. So
that's important.
Oh, man, I'll get down a lot of times. And, of course, for years, I scout for other people.
Sure.
Trying to find them. I put them on deer, that's just, I enjoy that almost as much as hunting for myself.
Oh, for sure.
So it's like, man, you get boots on the ground, walk a mile. It's like, I'm just going to walk back to camp. It's like, you're not going to ride? No, I'm walking back. It's like big round.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, dude, we got scrapes in this bottom. We got it. And it's like, somebody needs to be here. That's fun to me. I enjoy that. And there's no, other than me having history there, there's no intel.
Yeah.
That's the cool part.
Well, that's the only way you're going to get knowledge. I mean, knowledge is power when it comes to deer hunting.
Exactly.
Like, okay, you can look at an Onyx deal, and I'm not saying Onyx is bad, because I mean, it can definitely help you out in some situations.
Sure.
To find benches and potential bedding and, on and on. But there's nothing like going out there and like using your eyes. I was scouting with a guy the other day, and he's a fast walker, and like, I'm not like
you're surveying the
right, I'm trying to look at everything. Like, what's over there? Is this man? That twig looks like it's been twisted up, even though there's not a scrape underneath it. Like, so then that's where I use my Onyx. I'll like, bing. Here's a funnel leading down. There's a scrape at the top of the funnel, and at the bottom of it, you get down. There's a little grass area. There's bedding here. Bing, mark, drop pin. So all that stuff to me is like great, but you can sit at home and look at topographical lines and theorize all you want to.
Sure.
Until you get boots on ground, you don't know. So
well, see, that's exactly what we did on this new piece.
Yeah.
Me and the cousins looking at.
Yeah.
We looked at it on Onyx, and it's like, dude, it's a no-brainer spot right here.
Yeah.
Well, that's the first place we went. Straight to that spot. And sure enough, there's sign there, and
just off topographical stuff.
Just off topographical.
Yeah, it works.
I mean, I went in there and it's like, boom. So, and then it's like, but we're not seeing any buck sign. And I'm like, what's going on? And he said, well, let's just scout it.
Yeah.
And we got on another draw in there, and there's where the buck's at.
Yeah.
And so that's where the regular cameras are. And so we have no idea
what's happening.
What's happening in there.
Well, that's why I always did Missouri. We hunted all those public spots over there.
Yeah.
It's like, I would hunt something one day, that evening I would be in a different spot, because like, all right, let's go back to the truck, have a sandwich, and let me look at my deal. Like, okay, I'm heading over here.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I would head to that spot. It's like, it's no good. And I'll end up like, a mile away from where I intended going. And like, but I always saw deer just hunting off topographical maps when you know nothing about the place.
Sure. And me and Joe going back to do that.
Yeah.
We haven't done that in 5 years? It's been a while.
Yeah. So y'all got a Missouri trip.
Yeah. We leave on
this month.
Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going for 4 days, and public.
Yeah.
And we're just going.
Let's talk about that. So how we used to go into Missouri and hunt, push in deep, super aggressive, versus what we do at our own places. So careful,
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day. It's like, am I too careful here? And it's like, we used to go in, see deer every time.
Yeah.
Seen some giants in there. I never brought one home. The boy did. You have. Who else?
Jody's wife. Yeah.
She killed a giant.
Yeah. She killed a big one. Yeah.
So, as a whole, as a group, we've had success hunting super aggressively in 3 and 4 day increments.
Yep.
And we were on our own farms. It's like staying out, not pushing in, not going in, not doing this. So it's like, I was thinking about this the other day, and like, are we doing something wrong?
I don't think so. Here's my argument on that.
Yeah.
Which raises a great question, by the way. On our own farms, we control the narrative.
Yeah.
On public, we do not.
Yeah.
You make your own narrative.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And if you bust the deer out, you move to the next spot.
Yeah.
Here, we don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, can you go kill a deer on your own property and be aggressive?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what if you don't?
What if
you don't?
What's the drawbacks?
The drawbacks is
my opinion's even kind of changing on that.
Is it?
As far as like blowing a buck out. Because remember I told you last year, that guy said, if you blow a buck out of his bed, everybody says he's gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He's out of there. At least 2 week dead period. You're not going to see that deer again.
Right.
And this guy, I can't remember who I was reading. Now it was an audio book or something, podcast. I don't know what it was, but anyway, he says that deer will basically hop up, make kind of a circle, and think that was a really good bedding area because I didn't die.
I got away.
And come right back.
Yeah.
If it's a mature deer and he's marked that this is my ground, basically what, my train of thought is almost switching to, if you've got a deer that's there and he's said this is my ground and he's a dominant buck in the area, I don't know if you can run him off. I almost think he's going to stay there.
Okay, so here's my take on that.
Yeah.
So I thought the very same thing. I actually listened to a pod, and that was the topic.
Yeah.
If you bust a buck out of his bed and he skedaddles,
right,
is it over? And this one guy's like, heck no. Most all the bucks I kill, I have bumped before I killed them. And this is a big buck guy. I mean, he's killed many big bucks.
Right.
Here is the caveat to that, though. Midwest.
Yeah.
Not a lot of timber.
Yeah.
We have gigantic tracts of
miles
timber.
And miles and miles of timber.
And, you know, in the Midwest, once they cut the crops, dude, they ain't got nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you bumped me out of my bed. That's the best bed around. I'm coming back.
Yeah.
That plays into it a little
I
bit
agree.
in my mind.
Yeah. There's other farms they could bump to.
And I think that happens.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing, I see your argument on that because it's like, okay, we're super careful never to bump anything.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And we don't even hunt it sometimes because we're scared to bump it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I mean, so I go back in my mind, it's a few scenarios. It's like I had that, my one spot that we killed, Christie's deer.
Yeah.
Her big one that she killed. He'd been bumped.
Yeah.
He'd been bumped. And you leave him be and he came back.
Yeah.
And
what was the time frame?
That was in November.
I'm saying from the time he got bumped to the time he came back.
A few days.
Yeah.
At the most. But he was there all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like he moved in and it's just what you said. This deer was a 6.5-year-old deer.
Yeah.
This is my place.
Yeah.
You ain't running me off this place.
I'm the old man.
I'm the old man.
This is where my recliner
He kept all the juniors just at bay and they didn't mess with him and it was his spot.
Yeah.
And he got bumped and give him a day or two, he was back.
Yeah.
So there's a scenario in our country where that's exactly the case.
I think every deer's got its own personality. I told you, I bumped this deer coming out one morning and I killed him 2 or 3 days later.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I bumped him like we were 25 yards apart.
So I definitely think there's some validity to that argument that a big buck comes in and claims an area.
Yeah.
I think there's something to that.
The farm deal is a good point too, though. But I mean, if you're hunting ag, we hunt in Missouri a bunch. If you're hunting ag land, you're going to have a lot of interactions, maybe with the same deer over and over if you're there for a week because it's ag. There's food everywhere, and there's you have pockets of woods where these deer are living, bedding. So the interactions are greater, whereas we're hunting big woods, but we're actually trying to create an ag type atmosphere on our properties with big food plots and kill plots and, the thickness of it all and all that stuff. So what we're trying to recreate is ag country. We'll never get there, but I mean, it's kind of what we're trying to do in a small little area.
Sure.
Small little chip of what we own. But we're also, you're not going to have those interactions over and over and over. Then you hear about those guys all the time talking about that. Like, well, that deer's lived on this farm for 4 years.
Yeah.
We don't get that very often.
We don't retain that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some exceptions to that, but even my place for all these years, if I get a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, or 3-year-old that has been on my place, retaining him after 4 is almost impossible.
Tough. Yeah.
And and I know why that is here, but I don't know why it is at your place because, you've not had very much carryover. You've had some.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's like a new wash. You get all new bucks.
Yeah. I know.
It's like, I've never seen this deer before.
Yeah.
And, you're coming into year 3 and it's like, man, why didn't year 1 megas come back?
Yeah. I know.
You have the best setup.
Yeah.
And it's like,
because you would have known about those deer if they got killed.
Sure.
The half a dozen we're talking about, like, they would have been publicized.
Sure. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like top notch deer for us here in Arkansas where we're at.
Yeah.
50s and 60s and 70s. Yeah. Those deer get killed. They get talked about because it doesn't happen. It's really hard to do.
Everybody knows about it.
Yeah. It's really hard to do. So I don't know, man. I mean, I get your thought process on that, but I think it's more individually to the deer.
Yeah.
It's terrain based, right? Some.
Yeah.
I mean, like up on the mountain, up on the mountain for you. I mean, be aggressive, go in there and get what you can get.
Yeah.
Because the chances of him coming right back is probably slim.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's like I told you, I was talking to that guy, that Todd Mead guy, man. He hunts, him and his dad are big, like longbow hunter guys.
Right.
in the Adirondacks.
Well,
Millions and millions and millions of acres, and they do kind of like that picture you showed me. They do a big tent with a cook stove in it.
Oh,
they
nice.
go in and hang out for 2 weeks, and he's known as a big buck killer up there. Well, a big buck up there's 130-inch deer.
Sure.
And he always comes out with big deer. So I was kind of grilling him. He's got a couple books out there. He's a very, very knowledgeable dude, and he was basically saying, if you're in big woods, which I am.
Mm-hmm.
That the bucks are very, very nomadic, right? So they don't necessarily, this is my bedroom.
Sure.
They may move around. They may move 14 yards in a day, and they may move 4 miles in a day.
Well, I think you can prove that on your place.
Yeah.
Just after year 3. I mean,
Yeah.
coming into year 3 here, and it's like the retaining buck thing is just tough.
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
I mean, you can literally count on one hand how many bucks you've retained.
Yeah.
And, again, it's like we've done all these habitat improvements, thickened it, and more food, and yada, yada, yada. Access is great. You're not blowing out deer. And it's like, they may show up, they may not. And it's like, why? What is that? And I'm just what you said.
Yeah.
They're one day they're here and the next day they're a mile away, or, and to me, it's when you get pre-rut into rut, it's like doe groups. They're just going to doe groups.
Running everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I killed that big deer 2 years ago. My biggest deer. I had tons and tons of Facebook messages and text messages and, all that stuff because we were
miles away.
Yeah. And, that deer was, as you draw a straight line, some of the spots that people were sending me pictures that they had him was 3 miles, 2.5 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And then that big 170 I was chasing, he got killed 3 miles away from me. And I had that deer regular.
Yep.
So that just tells you and that wasn't even a mountain buck. He was like crossing highways when, where he got killed.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what's so fun about it.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, we both love it and we put resources towards it and we do lots of things, but it's like, we can't control the narrative hardly at all.
No. Yeah.
The
bucks that are on your property, you can kind of,
yes,
manipulate them to travel a certain area, or come to a certain spot, but
they got to be there.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean,
right? It's like,
but even I'm the same way, dude. It's like, get this brand new buck from last night. I have no clue.
Yeah,
why did he come to my place?
Right.
What was the trigger that made him come here? Is it because I have a few does? Is it because I've done all this? Or did he just come through?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and happen to pass by.
Yeah. And is he going to stay? Is he going to hang out? You don't know.
Will you ever get another picture of him again?
Yeah, exactly. You just don't know.
Yeah.
And then, the frustrating part for me is even though we've got 2 shooters for Lexi and one even I would shoot here, the 9 or the 10 point. And boom, gone.
Yeah.
And they're just gone. And they've been here for a month. And now they're just not, of course I'm jumping the gun. They may be back tonight. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. My place was dead last night too.
Yeah. So, and then of course we talked about the acorns. There's acorns everywhere. So that changes things.
Yeah.
Water is an issue.
Well, for me right now is water is what's keeping what deer I have.
Sure.
There. You
have a lot of water too.
Yeah. 4 water holes. And it's like, they're all getting hammered.
And where you're at too is, everything is pretty much bedded dry.
Yeah.
Up above.
Oh yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
So it's, your water's going to be a huge.
Well, there's a creek to the north of me, but they gotta, they're walking right past me to get to that creek.
Right.
So it's like,
you're the first water down.
Why not stop? Right?
Yeah. For sure. I'm excited about the cold front. We're finally I say cold front. It's a cool front.
Yeah.
But we are touching 30s, they're saying one night, which for us is cold.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No,
I'm going to be freezing probably.
Yeah, for sure.
But, guys, get out there right now. I mean,
well, if you got something that's worth hunting right now and you can't get them in the daylight, this is going to be your first opportunity probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited, dude. Cause this is that daytime activation switch, if you will, that we've been waiting on.
Yeah.
Cause it's been this ho-hum, horrible weather, hot, dry. And then now we get this little cool down and it's 3 or 4 days long.
Yeah.
So you can spread it out there and it's not just one night or whatever.
Yeah.
So
even like your setup here, you said you Alexa that and it's like you were close and like sometimes cold front's going to get them out 10 minutes earlier,
Yes.
15 minutes earlier.
Yes.
Or you may see those morning bucks. I mean, so there may be some opportunities there.
I know. I'm excited about it.
That we haven't had at this point. So
I know.
I'm going to have my first set maybe Monday of the season, you know, and that's kind of weird since today's the 13th of October.
Yep.
You know, deer season's going to be over before we know.
Oh, I know. I told Christy, my wife, I was like, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
She's like, what? I said, 6 weeks.
Yeah, I know.
We'll be on the backside of it in 6 weeks. And she's like, that's crazy. Y'all do all this work for that amount of time? Well, I said, like, you know, early season was kind of bogus because of the weather. And we just kind of been pinched down to where we are now. And, you know, here it is. We got to go. We got to go try.
Yeah.
And sounds like you're going to get aggressive because that's kind of what you're telling me.
Time to pull the pin. Well, I said, I'm not even sure I won't kill a doe and see.
Do it.
You know, I mean, just
that's what you want to do, man. Do it.
Well, it's not necessarily what I want to do. I think I need to pull some off my place, and then, you know, I don't know. It's something to, you know,
you get to go
practice. I haven't killed a dog off my place in probably like 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Cold front. You may want to wait.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I'll wait just a minute.
Yeah. Depends on how itchy my trigger finger is, I guess. But I don't have pigs this year yet.
I know, that's great.
I mean, knock on wood.
Yep. No pigs.
So that's a huge plus. You know, I used to run them pens and everything.
Yeah,
else.
you had to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I killed 18 hogs last year off my place just because I couldn't take it.
Yes.
Don't even need to be out there at nighttime trying to kill pigs, but it's like I can't take it.
Yeah.
After about the 5th picture, like, that's it. I'm going.
I hate them, dude.
Yeah.
I hate them so much. And I've been fortunate, knock on wood.
Yeah.
I ain't had nothing here. So hopefully, but I do know neighbors have really put a hurt on them. They've been hunting them all summer
Good.
long.
Yeah.
So that's
what
great.
you want. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
So
I
trapping
got
them and
a
hunting
couple of
them.
my buddies that are on the lease with me, and I said, I really don't run a whole bunch of cameras up there. I've got one over a scrape tree. That's a historical scrape tree. That's the only camera I run up there, but they're running a lot of cameras, and they're saying they haven't seen a whole lot up there, and they're pouring out and doing all kinds of stuff. So it's
Really?
like maybe I don't know. Maybe somebody's doing something.
So much.
I put a hurting on them last year, but I mean, you know how you look at the numbers on those things. They breed 3 times a year
I
from
know.
6 months old and drop 12 at a time. Like, I don't know how you can.
Well, they eat acorns too, right?
I would imagine so. Yeah,
I think they eat about anything.
they will. You know, very first pig picture I ever got, I went on a duck hunt and I ended up killing a bunch of geese, and I breasted out the geese and put a camera over a big pile of geese bodies, thinking I'm going to get like a bobcat, a bunch of coyotes or some cool pictures, and hogs came in and ate all the geese carcasses.
What the heck?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
First big picture I ever got.
Well,
and then I was obsessed. Like, I want to kill big. Yeah.
Well, they'll eat a person from what I
I
hear.
guarantee it, yeah.
Fall in there and die. They'd eat you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure. No question.
Well, guys, advice for this week would be cold front's coming.
Yeah.
Get in there after them. We're still staying evenings for the most part.
Yeah.
We'll watch for mornings, but
Yeah. You may get a morning buck.
yeah, there'll be some morning activity.
Yeah.
He knows coming, but we're going to push on it here a little bit right before muzzleloader, before the boom start.
Yeah. Watch the weather. I mean, weather
Yep.
trumps, in my opinion, trumps moon, trumps everything. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
You get a cold front, a good barometer, and a good scrape. Like you're in the chips. You got a chance, right? Like,
Yep.
And hopefully we get on here and do one of these hot pods that you invented.
Yes. I want to do a hot pod so bad.
Maybe like Wednesday or something.
Yeah, hot pod. Either it's Lex,
you and Lex
Lex
get
in
one
here,
down,
or
yeah.
me and you
Yeah.
together. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd
yeah,
be cool.
Sure.
Of course, that'll be videoed too. So
yeah.
That's so that was the other thing too. I was going to so real quick, those bucks that Lexi passed last year, I have video footage of. So I would love to tie that knot. Oh man, that would be great. So fingers are crossed. Cool weather's coming, guys.
Yeah.
Everybody have luck. I hope luck's great for everybody. And go get
Good
them.
luck to everybody. Watch the weather and get out there and get after them.
Guys, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Look for us.
Check us out.
Thank you guys for listening.
Bye, everybody.